Welcome to another St. Pete by Night production. The following is rated for mature audiences and may contain graphic themes that will be distressing to some viewers. As always, we recommend you ensure the safety and well-being of yourself and those around you at all times. Viewer discretion is advised.
In the heart of night, we rise from shadows, howling at the moon, igniting our battles, cleansing Gaia of an endless light, until our final days we will fight. Thanks, man, we stand united as one. Evil spirits lurking with horror and dread. Little light leads us where the grave dare tread. Glory and honor, wisdom in our hand. Together we rise, take our final stand. Everywhere we run, the wind is at our back. All the warm forces we will track. From the depths of the ocean to the clouds in the sky, vampires tremble as we learn to fight. Rage across Tampa, in this fight we'll stay. Evil spirits lurking with horror and dread. Little light leads us where the brave dare tread. Glory and honor, wisdom in our hand. Together we rise, take our final stand. Rage across Tampa, in this fight we'll stay. Everywhere with the pack, let the night be our guide. In battles of honor, we shall never hide. We shall never hide.
Good evening and welcome to the St. Pete by Night Entertainment Network. St. Petersburg by Night is a World of Darkness role-playing community originating in St. Petersburg, Florida. My name is Kent, also known as Kent on all social media, and I will be your storyteller tonight. It's Friday night, and you know what that means. It's time for Hounds, our Werewolf the Apocalypse 5th edition chronicle set in Tampa Bay, Florida, where a pack of young guru have traveled from Michigan to assist the Sept of the Evening Star in combating the forces of the worm, both physical and spiritual. You can follow St. Pete by Night on all of the social media listed in the description down below, and you can join our community by following that Discord link where you could take part in one of the many activities we have running all month long. We are now offering for players to run or play in 20th anniversary or Chronicles of Darkness games as well, so head on over and join our community today. Now let's introduce our players. Players, go ahead and introduce yourselves if you please.
Hey there, everyone. I'm Nikki, and I will be playing Delphine Gaia Speaker, the Silent Strider Theurge.
Hello everyone, my name is Jay. She forged on my From Till I Failure, and I'll be playing Forged from Failures, Bonar Ruin.
Hello, everybody. I am Lilith. I will be playing Juniper and the Black Fairy Ragabash.
Hi, I'm Nabers, and I play your local unicorn, Quinn Kelly, the Ragabash Children of Gaia.
Hey everyone, my name is Ben. I'll be playing Raymond Gorn, the Ghost Council Philodox.
Howdy, hello, Internet. My name is Echo, and I will be playing your resident Lupus-born Will-O-Wisp, the Galliard of the Children of Gaia.
All right, let's get everybody caught up as to where we are now. Last week, we saw Quinn and Raymond have their first solo interaction back at the Pack House as Quinn was moving in. And while it seemed a little bit awkward at first, I feel like the beginnings of a bond were formed there as Quinn asked some questions, Raymond asked some questions. They both got kind of answers. So, you know, you got to start somewhere. And then we saw Delphine showing and Delphine and Juniper showing Willow around the cairn, at which point they ran into the spirit of Alara, who had some rather blunt truths for them, some that Willow wasn't necessarily excited or ready to hear. We then saw Forged make a call home to his family, where he heard from his quote unquote sister, who told him that they didn't remember anything about his younger brother or his son, and believed that Forged was just playing games or making it up. This put Forged on high alert that things aren't quite well at home. Then after the break, we saw Quinn and Willow have one of their first lessons with Charles, who went into a long diatribe about the nation, the old nation, of course, which will eventually need to be interpreted for Willow, as Charles used a lot of big words and phrases and terms that were a little bit too much for the new Lupusborn to handle. Finally, we saw Forged, Juniper, Raymond, and Delphine meet at the pack house to discuss what the next steps would be. Eventually, it was determined that Forged and Juniper would head up to Michigan to investigate what's going on with his son and his family, while Raymond would begin his Bane tending lessons with Eliza, and Delphine would just be trying to keep everything together, especially with these two new packmates who came to the area. That all being said, let's get our story started with our first scene. Forged and Juniper have begun their preparations to leave for Michigan once more, but this time they won't have the whole pack there to support them. This will literally be a commando mission of sorts between the two of them to gather what information they can and hopefully rescue Cooper. So as you are at the house packing up what belongings you think you'll need for the journey, Raymond approaches and the scene is yours.
Ray will walk up, seeing them all packing all their stuff together, what they think they're going to need, and going through the motions of planning for this trip. Watching for a few seconds, seeing if they notice me standing there. After a bit, I'll clear my throat to kind of get their attention. Hey, I was wondering if I could talk to you guys really quick.
I will finish up putting some things into my bag and turn to look at Raymond. Oh, shit. Yeah, sure. And I'll look over at Forged and then back to Raymond. What's up?
Well, there's a couple things I kind of wanted to talk about with you guys. About the mission, but kind of also just... I wanted to apologize for everything that happened and for what I put you guys through for while helping me.
Forge just glances later like a small moment where Forge just glances over to Juniper as a kind of like, really doing this right now moment, and kind of looks back to him, just sure dude, whatever. Just kind of shakes his head, continues back to packing.
I just nod my head slowly. Yeah. I mean, shit happens. We're all fucked up. Wish you would have said something sooner. But can only go up from here, right? Not like rock bottom can get any lower.
I mean, I hope not. But I guess at your point, Forged, you guys are going to be gone for a while, and I wanted to say it before you guys left. I mean, I have faith in you guys going up and taking care of this. But you never know. And so I wanted to be sure that I said it in case something happens. Because you can never know what's going to go wrong during a mission. And I wanted to say something before I regretted it. Because I've kind of not said a lot of stuff before. And it's been me in the ass, so...
Or your fingers.
No, my fingers are fine. See? I got them back.
I mean, they
Well-
still went missing for a while there, you know, I think, which is what Forge was kind of getting at.
Yeah. Nah. Another one of my
But-
great decisions.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. You're not necessarily saying that, like, we're gonna die or anything crazy, but just, you know, shit happens. And, yeah. You're good, Ray. You're good.
Okay, can we stop talking about this? Like, this is a suicide mission here. Y'all are fucking bumming me out right now. Just kind of, look, we're gonna go there, we're gonna get him back, and we're gonna come straight back here, and we're gonna continue like nothing fucking happened. Let's stop the talk of in case I don't see you again, or no, somebody's gonna die kind of stuff. Let's chillax on that.
I mean, I said that we weren't gonna die. I don't think we're gonna die, like, at all. I'm pretty confident. I was just saying I understand where Raymond's coming from right now.
I'm going to glance over at Forged. A little bit more of a serious look on my face. I'm not questioning your, I guess, enthusiasm to have the mission be that easy, but you have to have more of a plan than that, right? You can't just, that's not what you're expecting to happen. Please tell me that that's not it.
You'll see he actually like stops with his packing, like holding open one of his like a suitcase open while he's putting some clothes in. He'll put the clothes down, let the briefcase shut. He'll finally like turn his full attention onto Ray. Just let that a long exhale. Look, dude. Obviously, it's gonna be more than that. It's just, Ember said we gotta go where everything went wrong, so I assume we're gonna have to investigate somewhere where he went missing, little bro went missing, and then I'll have to go see my family. We'll try and be sneaky and shit, so, you know, not making a huge commotion or being seen. I mean, Juniper probably knows all the forest path or whatever, and you can show us where to go where we won't really be noticed. I mean, we'll go from there. You know, see where that leads us, and make sure my family is not getting, you know, mentally screwed over.
Okay. Sounds a little bit more like a plan, because I was just, I guess, a little worried that there wasn't much to going up there, because last week you were a little heated on trying to get it done. And I'm not saying that you shouldn't be, but I was just wanted to double check.
You see he stares at you for a moment, looks up and down as he'll take it. You actually, I bet you have this like on the couch, some of the briefcase, as he'll sit down now and say, "Look, I know I kind of got pissy and was a bit of an asshole, and you know, kind of my be on it. Just don't feel like I don't like the feeling of feeling like I can't do shit, you know? Look, I'm good at beating the shit out of things and talking to people, but not really trained at doing rescue missions in the middle of enemy fucking territory, okay? And especially when I get told that my friends can't come with me. I mean, it pisses me the fuck off. It makes me want to, you know, say fuck you to whoever says that, you know?
That's understandable. And I mean, I'm not in any way saying that you're not capable of doing this, or that, you know, you're only good at, you know, beating things up. But I just felt a little uncomfortable about how it ended, and I wanted to see what the initial plan was. And I really hate that I can't go with you. I mean, I made that promise, and I'm not going to be able to keep it, and that really hurts. So I also want to apologize for that. That unfortunately I'm not going to be able to be up there with you to help.
This in Forge's mind right now, he's a bit conflicted. On one hand, he is still actually kind of pissed off that everything that's happened led to this specific situation of half of his pack not being able to come help him with what he needs, feel like he needs help with. On the other hand, he does know the context in the situation. It did happen, and he knows, in a way, it was kind of a little bit of a similar situation what he's going through now. And kind of fights his own internal pettiness and, you know, angry attitude. He'll eventually relent, and he'll give a nod and say, "Look, dude, it's fine. You know, you got your shit figured out, and now you gotta, you know, serve your sentence like me and Delphine did. And once you're, you know, hopefully you can get through that shit pretty quick. I mean, hey, me and Delphine was relatively quick. I think you should be able to get yours out of the way pretty fast. Get you on parole for good behavior."
I mean, I hope so, but I definitely messed up a lot more than you guys did, so it might take me a lot longer.
Technically, you didn't even break the litany, did you? I mean, that's really what kind of got me and Delphine fucked over.
I mean, sure, but I don't know, it hits harder. My mess up. So.
I'm just staying silent, watching the two of them figure out their own emotional bro shit.
No, didn't really interact much with him, but look, I kind of miss him now, you know? That's the weird part. I didn't really care much for him when he was around, but now that he's gone, fuck, man, it's actually kind of fucking hurts, you know, a little bit.
Yeah, He was, I didn't learn as much from him when he came down here as Delphine did and spent as much time, but up in hell, and when we first came down here and I was talking with Red, he would chime in and we would talk, and he still taught me a decent amount. So the feeling kind of him being gone hurts a little bit more, but it was a decision that, you know, he made. So I can't really question him on that.
I'm making the
Yeah.
mention of. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, it really does suck, but, you know, he's with his pack. He's back with his pack now, and ultimately, we should take solace in that, and remember to stick with our own pack, and do what's best for us as well. So, that's why you are gonna finish this little repentance thing, and we're getting back on track, and things are gonna be okay.
Yep. Yeah, you're not wrong. I don't know, just now that everything's all done and everything's all finished and I did get what I wanted, I guess it feels a little bit more, I don't know, hollow right now.
Well, I guess you gotta ask yourself, was it worth it?
I mean, yes, but at the same time, there's so much more to that yes than a 100% like saying it with conviction. There's so much baggage to it and so much weight to it that I don't know if it outweighs it at this point.
Well, it was your friend. So, ultimately, you're the one that's gonna have to come to peace with what happened.
I mean, he did put like a whole note about not regretting it and not, you know, saying was it worth it or anything like that. Though I kind of, yeah, I'm kind of wondering. I don't know. There's something to think about. Just wonder why he chose to take the burden from me. You know, just kind of think like. I mean, he's a older, you know, guru guy, you know, pretty wise ears, pretty, you know, strong connections and whatnot. I mean, and I'm just kind of like younger. I want to say dime a dozen a ruin, but you know, kind of. I feel like there's plenty of us out there. I think kind of like, I don't know, maybe a better idea that he didn't take it, you know, see how it is.
He was an old man in our years. You're young and can still fight well. And he lost his entire family, his pack, you know, pretty much everyone but Stakes. I'm sure that his death was something that he had been thinking about for a while and probably just wanted to go out in an honorable way. Not trying to make light of the whole situation, but if it wasn't this, it was going to be something else. Might as well die protecting your fellow guru than to just go out into the woods and look at the flowers.
I agree with Juniper, but I think also he was, you know, putting his chips on us. You know, he wanted to make sure that we all made it out and that he believed in us and that he trusted us to move forward after his death, and that we would, you know, become something. I think Sean kind of believed in that a bit and believed in us. He saw what we became coming down here, how we grew, and I think in a way also it was his way of making up for what he did.
I don't know about you guys, but people believing you is exhausting. Just... Forged shakes his head. Seems uncomfortable right now. He'll stand up, not really doing anything right now, just kind of moving. Just seems not very comfortable to sit still right now.
Well, just think of this as a practice run, Forged. Because once we get up to Michigan, you're gonna have a small child believing in you for the rest of your life. And his. And you're gonna have to take care of him.
And that's going to probably be, you know, a lot more weight and a lot more effort and work than, you know, us believing in you. Because that's going to be a challenge, raising him. It's going to
Not
be,
alone,
no.
You won't be alone.
But it'll be challenging and rewarding. It'll be good to get your son back.
I know, but you know, at least you guys try to make it a little appealing at the end of it, you know, rather than just saying that it would be terrible and suck ass. But I appreciate you at least trying to put a positive spin on the end there. Forged gives a little smile.
Well, you know us. We're the positive sunshine crew. Rainbows and sparkles galore.
Yep, you know. I mean, we always got to look at the bad first and then the good. That's how we do it, right?
I think, but we got that new ray of sunshine in our pack. So, how fun.
You get it? Did you get it, Ray? And I'll like elbow him a little bit. You know, Ray of sunshine, Raymond of sunshine. Did you get it?
I'll just glance over to Juniper and just let out a dry chuckle.
Oh, good. You can still laugh. Good, good, good.
But yeah, I just wanted to talk to you guys before you guys had headed out and left. I don't know how long you guys are gonna be up there for, how long it's gonna take. So just wanted to get everything out there and talk to y'all before for the trip.
Yeah, man. Of course. Do we want to make this not awkward and have a beer together or something before we get going?
Yeah. The fridge is always fully stocked. And I'll say it again, because I kind of said it just to Forged at the end of the meeting last time, but you guys can reach out. And if you guys have any questions or you're stumped on something, if you call and talk to me, I might be able to work it out. It might kind of help you go in a direction that you may not have thought about. I'm not there, so it won't be as insightful or as well informed, but hopefully I can help in any way.
I appreciate that. And right back at you. Next time something big, huge happens, please don't hide it for like a year straight until it, becomes a shitstorm that's way out of control for any of us to handle. I think that if we can do that for each other, we'll be at a good start.
Yeah. Definitely not going to wait long next time. But beers aren't going to drink themselves. I'll walk over to Forged and put my arm around his shoulders. It's like, let's go get drunk.
Yeah, he'll give a smile to that. There's like a little bit of a stiffness where you put your arm around him, like a little bit awkwardness to him, like that. Just as he thinks to himself, the tension of everything, kind of the anxiety of getting his kid, and also a little bit of discomfort, just because this is also the same guy who subjected his best friend to like unimaginable torture for quite a while. So there's a little bit of a disconnect as he thinks about the situation and about what's happening now. As he tries to let himself relax and let out smiles, he'll walk with him to grab some beers.
As you all turn to the kitchen to grab some refreshments to try and break some of the tension, I'll ask what's going through your mind after this conversation, knowing that it's going to be the last one, at least for a little while. We'll start with Forged, then Juniper, then Raymond.
There's some talking with his packmates usually makes Forged feels better unless it's some bullshit they're getting into. So he's already kind of in a little bit of a better spot, though there's still a lot of uncertainty. With how everyone describes situation and the danger and how this is something that isn't just going to be a walk in the park, makes him worried. He feels kind of helpless in this, knowing that he doesn't really have a very good skill set for something like this, or even prior experience anything like this before, but he just wants to believe that for once if he tries as hard as something and he really wants it to go well, he does it right, that it will go well. He wants to believe that can happen for him. And with his packmates, maybe this isn't as delusional as he thinks it is.
Juniper.
Juniper is feeling a little bit awkward right now in this moment because none of the three of them are very good at the whole emotional stuff. So this was just like a little awkward. But she is glad that Raymond did end up, coming in and talking and apologizing and just trying to, start repairing the friendships between all of them. She is feeling very restless to get going, and honestly is taking like a deep breath and a little bit of a sigh of relief that she is getting away from the chaos that has kind of come to the sept and the cairn with the arrival of all the new people. Despite everything happening down here, it will be nice to just go on a road trip back to their home state, even given the circumstances. And she's actually looking forward to spending time with Forged in like a one-on-one kind of way without everything else happening, and rescuing a child. A literal fucking baby that's been thrown into this fucking nightmare of an existence. She is absolutely refusing to think about any, like, oh, there's a chance we might die, there's a chance this might go wrong. Like, she's not she cannot afford to think like that, because there's a, like I said, there is a literal child involved in this. There is no room for failure. So she's just feeling a lot of emotions, but also looking forward to getting away from everything that's going on here.
And Raymond.
I'm not surprised that there was this awkward tension in the air when I approached them. I mean, not the best at expressing myself, especially like this, and apologizing kind of out of the blue, I'm sure kind of threw them, but it does feel like just an ounce of weight has been lifted in that sense. Verbally apologizing is the start, but there still needs to be that showing of apology. And with them leaving, there's that concern that that might take a while or might not happen. He doesn't want to say it out loud, but you never know what's going to happen, and you never know what to expect, especially with them going in a little bit more blind and a little bit more unaware about what's really going on up there. And so getting that little bit of confirmation that there's more than just we go up there, save the sun, get back, you know, that Forge has something, relieved that a little bit as well. And hopefully if they do run into trouble, if they do need help, that they will reach out, and I can do what I can for them from here. And I hope that they succeed and come back safe and quickly.
They say that absence makes the heart grow fonder. It's funny that the things that can pull us apart can also bring us together. Whether it's being forced to be vulnerable or just distance, separation, the knowledge that could very well be the last time you see one another. Something that we often take for granted, because the world is a very dangerous place. Sometimes all you need is someone who understands that, shares in that sentiment. Maybe even like a grandmotherly figure. Which is why we move on to our next theme. Willow, it's been about a week since you arrived at the cairn, maybe almost 2 weeks at this point. Hard to keep track. But as you've become more and more accustomed to your surroundings, what started as a tight circle within the bond has expanded more and more outwards as you get comfortable with the area. It's an adjustment going from winter to what feels like summer all within a couple of days, but it's also been a welcome relief, being able to walk and run within the dappled sunlight that comes down between the leaves, to be in a place that truly feels safe and secure. not just on a mental level, but on a spiritual level. You've never had much experience with cairns. You've never walked the bonds openly, knowing that there was more than just your own instinct looking after you. But here, this place, you feel watched over. You feel like you have been brought into the embrace of a spiritual place that may have been strange at first, but you've grown more and more accustomed to as you have made it your home for the most part. On one particular day, as you stalk through the woods, enjoying the steadily warming up temperatures as the last cold snap fades into a distant memory, you find yourself along the banks of the Hillsborough River, a river that runs through a good extent of Tampa and definitely through the cairn itself. As you're walking along the river's edge, what's going through your mind?
I'm sort of mulling over a lot of the stuff that's been happening since we got down here, the interaction with Charles, and how he's so different from Quinn, even though they say they're from the same place. And I've been thinking about that a lot, and then occasionally my brain will flash back to further back in my past, and I'll bring it back to, nope, we're going to focus on now, because now is the important bit. And it just sort of thinking about Alara and how that interaction didn't go super great. And is it like, did someone just, like, piss in her bed? Or was there a specific reason she was like that? Or is that, like, just her default? Just a lot of those things. It's like I'm trying to figure out why people are acting the way they do, because it's so different for me.
As many similarities as there are between wolf culture and human culture, whether it's a sense of community in smaller groups, whether it's instinctual, being constantly on the lookout for danger, there are so many more things that make them vastly different. As you're walking along the riverbank, considering this, enjoying the cool breeze that comes from the water's surface, interspersed with the warmth of the sun beating down, you hear the sounds of splashing water. And it draws your attention to an older woman knelt beside the riverbank who seems to be doing laundry, maybe? She's dipping clothing into the river's water, scrubbing it with a bristled brush to get any dirt or detritus off of it, and then just squeezing it dry before hanging it up on a clothesline that seems to be strung between two trees nearby. You've seen her before, possibly one of the oldest people you've ever seen this close up and in person, and especially in Guru culture. Eliza Ross, the Right Master, Theurge, and Stargazer, which you've heard maybe a couple of murmurings about the Stargazers and how they aren't to be trusted, but you haven't gotten anything in your own experience yet that tells you otherwise. Before you're even able to approach, Eliza says, "Good afternoon, Willow."
Hello, Eliza. You are doing clothes in the river? Why?
Well, you know those clothes you're wearing right now?
Yeah.
The reason you're able to wear them is because they aren't washed by human machines or devices. The reason they change with you, well, will, once they're dedicated, of course, is because the only way to clean them is in the natural surface of the water.
That is important to do? on a regular?
Amongst humans, yes. You don't need to be stinking like something foul because of leaving your clothes unwashed. Now I know that's probably an unfamiliar concept to you, but it's a human thing, darling. Nothing to worry about too terribly.
They stop and just like pick up their shoulder and just sort of sniff and just scrunch up their face and like, Yeah, okay. That makes sense. Still getting used to the clothes thing. I did want to talk to you, if that is okay. If you are not horrifically busy.
Of course. Come on over here. And she gets up from being knelt by the riverbank and moves over to a fallen log nearby that looks like it was dragged into place, a place that can be used to take a respite from the chores that she is actively working on. And she sits down on the log and pats the seat next to her.
Willow will happily sit next to her and then just sort of look at her and be like, why is your tribe no good? Because I don't understand. Quinn keeps saying I don't need to talk to you and I shouldn't talk to you, and I don't get it because you seem to be a very nice person, and or at least from how I see you interact with other peoples and stuff. So I am confused and would like enlightenment, please.
Well, I'm happy to give it, darling. Quite simple. My people, the Stargazers, left the nation a few years ago. We believed that the direction that the nation was going wasn't the best one, wasn't the way to continue this fight. We had other beliefs, other philosophies, and those clashed with the nation's beliefs, to be honest. And so we left. We went our own way, with no malice, of course, no violence or judgment, just simply different philosophies, different thoughts, parting ways. Well, the nation has a great deal of pride. They don't take kindly to others departing, and unfortunately, it came around the same time that the formerly known Get of Fenris decided to become cultists with their own philosophies. Now, theirs were a lot more violent and a lot more aggressive, but when two well-regarded tribes depart the nation, this is like a sting on the nation's hiney. They got a burr in their butt, and they are not keen to that idea, and they saw it as a betrayal, and they believe that we can't be trusted because we're keeping some sort of secrets. And to be honest, I can't fault them for that. We do have a fair many secrets. But so do every tribe. Every tribe has their secrets. Ours are just more standing out because we walked away. Does that all make sense?
Yes and no. I don't believe my tribe has any secrets. We're not allowed to do that, from my understanding of that. Unicorn doesn't like lying. So,
Well, there is a difference between lying and secrets. Secrets are things that can bond you to a companion. When someone tells you something they don't want you telling everyone else, for example, it becomes a secret. What changes it to a lie is when asked about it, you don't tell them, I can't tell you that. When you say, oh, I don't know, or I have no idea, or anything like that, that's where you're going to run into a lie, because you're not speaking truthfully. But saying, I'm within someone's confidence and I can't share that information with you, that's still honesty. That's still truth.
Okay, that makes more sense. That had not been told to me in that way. That makes sense. Then, new question. You speak spirits, right?
I do?
Can you teach me? Because, like, I can see into the Umbra, and I find them very interesting. And it is, we talked to Ember before we came down here, and that was interesting. And I made sure she got a shiny rock because you're supposed to give them offerings. And I would like to learn more spirit things. I've already met Alara, and I'm not a fan, but, like, other spirits would be good to meet.
Eliza lets off a soft chuckle and nods her head. Alara has quite an off-putting personality until you get to know her, it's true. But she was a lupus-born, like yourself, when she was alive. I remember that she was often very stoic, very blunt. If anything, that's something that I admire about the lupus-borns, is they're going to tell you exactly what they're thinking. But be honest, Willow, not always good things. When you've been through something traumatic, people react differently. Some try to avoid it with everything they have, try to avoid thinking about it, remembering it. They try to pretend it didn't even happen. Eliza gives a long stare towards Willow.
Their face is like, you can read it like a book. Like, it's, oh no, I've been spotted. Like that immediate prey stare of, like, eyes are wide and they're just staring like, oh no. Oh, please don't.
And in a way, that is a lie as well, because they're lying to themselves about what they've been through. But it's also very natural. The response to trauma and difficult times varies for each individual. Some tend to dwell in it far longer than they should. Rather than doing anything to remedy the issue or move on, they just sit in it and allow it to consume their every feeling, every motion, every act. It may even cause them to be still, inactive, unwilling to pursue the remedy or solution to the problem. And some have to grieve and then eventually move on. When they're ready, of course.
How did you, is, like, how, it's, is it easy to tell, or,
You're about 2 years old, right? 2 human years old?
yeah, I think.
Got an awful lot of scars on you for 2 years old. They had to come from somewhere.
Willow, without even thinking about it, pulls down their sleeves to cover their gloved hand, their fingerless gloved hand, just to make sure it's extra covered. Okay. Yeah.
That's nothing to be ashamed of. Those scars are a story of how you got here, a remembrance of what you lost, but also a reminder of how you can prevent that loss for anyone else. In fact, amongst the Guru society, scars are often celebrated because they were earned in some ferocious combat or act of glory.
I didn't earn mine. Mine happened. I didn't earn
I can see that perspective. But you earned them because you survived them. Something that could do that kind of damage would kill a lesser being. You are still here. You are still fighting the fight. You are learning. You are adapting. You are growing. So in a way, yes, you earned those scars. Not because you did anything wrong. It's terrible what must have happened to you, and I won't press for any details. I don't need to. Not my story to learn. It's yours. And avoiding that story, pretending it didn't happen, is failing to learn the lesson of that story and what it was trying to teach you.
I just don't know how to talk about it. I just don't have the words, you know? There are lots of words and they're all very... I know some bigger ones. Quinn made sure to teach me some of the bigger ones to make me sound more important, but it's, there are still words I don't know and how to describe what happened hasn't entered my vocabulary yet.
Eliza reaches out a hand, holding it palm up to you, showing that she has no aggressive or intense intentions. May I have your hand?
Willow sits there for a long moment, sort of mulling it over, before very slowly and in a very measured fashion giving their hand over.
Eliza places her other hand on top of it, cupping your hand between hers. You will have the words when you're ready. Don't force yourself to be something you're not. But also, you should work your way towards being ready. Avoiding it. Pretending it didn't happen. Refusing to think about it. You will never be ready if you stay in a state like that, but it doesn't make it go away. Doesn't mean it didn't happen. Let me tell you a story. A few years back, I'd fallen into parano, depression, sadness. So much so that I'd lost my wolf, my connection to Gaia. And honestly, if it wasn't for this pack, this sept, I probably still would be, assuming I was even still alive. But as I was suffering that depression, having watched the love of my life die, having watched those that I considered my children and family die, well, my son, Orion, couldn't bear the thought of his mother being that sad. So he went off to find the cure, the solution. He went into the Umbra looking for a tear of Gaia. Now, I don't expect you to know what that is, but it's a relic that helps bring back a guru from depression or manic anger. Well, Orion died trying to find that relic. And so I lost my son as well. And because of that depression that I was in, because I was already so far gone, it just became another tragedy to a list of tragedies. It wasn't given the weight it deserved. And I just had to sit with it for years. I had to sit with all those tragedies for years. But when Aspen, Jester, Aiden, and Artie all went into the Umbra to find that same cure, you know what they found? My son. Or what had become of my son. See, when you are in the Umbra for far too long, it corrupts you. We're only meant to be in the Umbra for short periods of time. We're not meant to stay there, to live there. We are only part spirit, you see. We still have the wolf part and the human part. And those are very much grounded in this side of the veil. So his body broke down, as did his spirit, and he became what's known as a starving remnant, a zombie guru. Just a hulking mass of feral instincts and rage. My son was gone. But in finding it, by destroying that husk, they also found the tear of Gaia. And were able to return not just the tear, and then she reaches up and takes out a pendant around her neck. They brought me this, a pendant I'd given my son. They brought back a piece of my son. And thus they made me confront all of those feelings and thoughts. They gave me the ability to mourn, to feel. They gave me a chance to, well, in one instance, lose him all over again, but in a second instance, get some closure. I got to know what had happened to him, not that he just disappeared. And I got to grieve him appropriately. I got a chance I didn't think I'd ever have. And I needed that grief, Willow. I needed that sadness. Or else there would be an unending ache in my heart, too large to be healed. Don't get me wrong, it still hurts. Every day I wake up knowing my son isn't here, it hurts. A mother should never have to outlive their child. But also, this is the Guru way. We fight, we put our lives on the line almost every single day. And eventually, we have our last fight, whatever it may be. And whilst that may sound sad, what we're fighting for makes it worth it. I had given up that fight. I had given up on everything. All to avoid facing the unending pain of all the things I had lost, of all the suffering that had been caused, of the fact that I was the lone survivor.
Willow will wipe the tears forming at the edges of their eyes. We are more alike than I thought.
I think you'll find that all Guru share something in common beyond just being Guru. Many stories are like yours, Willow. Maybe they didn't happen in the same place. Maybe they didn't happen with the same other lupine. But it happened. Change is often brought about by suffering. There are way fewer stories of a peaceful transition than there are those brought about by heartbreak, pain, and suffering. So while it's easy to look at someone like Alara with judgment about how blunt and how direct she can be, she earned that bluntness, that directness. We must show empathy, caring for others, because if they are acting in a way that we view as mean or hurtful or frustrating, imagine what they're going through, that's the way they have to act. We all carry pain. While we're not all entitled to knowing each other's pain, what we can offer is grace and understanding, patience, and an opportunity for them to come around, to heal.
Yeah, healing is it's what I want to do. I look at the pack I have been placed with and I see a lot of pain and I don't know how to help, especially I see it in Delphine. She seems so scared and so worried about everyone around her, and I am very worried about her, as well as Quinn, now worried with people following us, and I want to help, but they got to let me help, and it seems like they just don't want that yet, and I don't know how to show that I'm here to help, and I want to help, because I don't want anyone to feel the way I feel about things, you know?
That also means sharing how you're feeling. A pack shares each other's burdens, as well as celebrates each other's successes. You want to help take the weight of others, but you're unwilling to let them take your weight as well. The best way to get vulnerability is to offer it. It's not easy, and it'll only happen when you're brave enough, willing enough, and trusting enough to do so. And don't forget, my child, you are new here. You're a stranger to these guru. Now, some of us are far more understanding and accommodating of strangers, but most of them have been a guru less time than you've been alive. They're still learning how to do it. They're still learning how to trust.
And I'm very used to pack immediately trusting each other because we're pack, you know?
Yes.
And, but then again, I can't go back because I'm too dangerous. So I miss them so much, and I don't know how to talk about that in a way that doesn't make me sad, because I miss them a lot, and but Quinn always says we gotta smile through the hurt. We gotta smile through the pain, because that's what you're supposed to do, especially my moon. We're supposed to smile and sing songs and tell stories, and I feel like I am not doing good at my job.
In the old nation, that was probably true. But you're not in the old nation anymore. You are with a whole new group, with a whole new belief system and thoughts. We share our burdens here. Many of those songs you're supposed to sing are songs of heartache and loss, so that those individuals won't be forgotten. You have a song to sing, Willow. It's your song. Your song of missing your family, missing your pack. It's just as worthy as any song the Guru have to sing, because you are Guru. We sing to remember. Jester, the Sept Tail Singer, has been through so much tragedy, and that's after becoming a Guru. There was plenty before, but that's after. She doesn't smile all the time. She hurts. She remembers. She relives. She even had a particularly difficult moment recently where plants were sprouting out of her body and she almost died. Yeah.
They look deeply confused as to and just sort of poke at their stomach like, what?
It was magic, darling. Very magic.
Oh.
Yes, Fae are real. I know. Your perplexed expression matches all of ours when we found out, believe me. But these things that happen to us, we share when we're ready. We share because we share the burden. That's what makes us a pack. That's what makes us a sept. That's what makes us a new nation. And you are a part of all of those things, if you want to be. And we will share your burden with you. We will not judge you. We will not torment you. We will feel for you and with you. And we will help you move forward. I don't like the term move on because it never does go away. You just get more used to carrying it.
It is heavy in a way I'm not used to. Because when I was experiencing it, it would just, it was the now, so I had to try and distract. Because it was the now, and the only way to get through it was to, not focus on it. But, now I've survived, and I'm here, and it's all very out of my ability to think about it.
But you will need to. There are times to set aside our cares and burdens. Times when our packmates are going to depend on us not to be distracted, not to be lost. But then, in times like this, she gestures around to the river and the woods. This is our time to feel, because we are safe. We are in our home. And if you don't feel safe enough in your home to feel, to remember, to care, to share, then it's not really a home, is it?
I haven't had a home for most of my existence. Most of my time we didn't have a den or anything. We just had the places they put us. And I'm still getting used to being free, you know?
Eliza reaches up slowly not making any sudden moves, but then places a hand against your cheek. You have a home now. You do. This is your home. This is your second family. Nothing can replace your first. No one would assume they could. But it's okay to have another. And if you truly want to see your family again, if you truly do want to journey up there are those that will go with you. Aiden, a lupus born like you, his family was captured by an organization, a business that was testing on animals. Except what they were doing was much, much worse. Well, this entire pack journeyed up there to free them, to fight their captors. Because that's what family does for one another. And then they were taken to another sept, taken to a wolf sanctuary, a place that they could heal and be free and be safe. Because that's what family does.
The moment she brings up what happened to Aiden, Willow is shaking, like physically shaking, not violently, but just enough where you can feel the pain. And they just launch into a hug at Eliza.
Eliza wraps her arms around you and starts stroking your hair. All right. All right. I'm sorry that happened to you. I'm sorry it happened to your family. But you're not alone. You don't have to hide from it. You don't have to fight it.
They'll pull back and just sort of wipe the tears away, trying to shake out their hands to stop their nervous system from shaking. I should tell everyone. I don't want it to be a bad thing that we have to think about later. And if I say it, maybe it'll feel better, and maybe it won't hurt as bad.
These things often do. They often do feel better after you've shared. Because keeping all that pain to oneself, it'll cripple you. It'll keep you from being the amazing, sweet, kind guru I've already known you to be.
You are very good people.
I try to be. Every day I have to wake up and make that decision. And some days are harder than others. But moments like this, here with you on this log by this river, those are the ones that make it worthwhile to make that choice.
They'll nod. I wanted to talk about spirits.
I'm happy to talk about spirits, but we have to acknowledge what's happening right in front of us first before we start looking into things beyond. But let me tell you about spirits.
Yes, okay, good. Yes.
Everything has a spirit. Every grain of sand, every bit of water, every tree, every root. Every living thing, and even some that aren't living, has a spirit. Now, this isn't to say you should be afraid to go hunting because you might be hurting some spirit. No, they have purposes. Some are to be deer that eat the grass. And then there are predators that eat the deer. And then one day those predators die and they feed the grass. It's a circle. That circle gets interrupted when things fall out of balance, which is what is happening right now. The weaver, the worm, the wild, they're out of balance. Now, in the old nation, they would have taught you that the worm is the enemy, and it must be destroyed. That is the way to solve all the problems that we're facing in the world. But that would be destroying death as we know it. That would be destroying the decay of a body that feeds the grass, that feeds the deer. We need the worm just as much as we need the wild and the weaver. But the problem is the worm is sick. It's not evil, not inherently. It's ill. And what do we do with things that are ill? We treat them. We tend to them.
Heal the worm?
That's what we're trying to do. Not as easy as it looks. We're talking about a spirit that was born with creation. But I have seen success, and I have seen failure. There once was a tribe known as the White Howlers that believed that they could go to the core of the worm to beat back whatever was causing it to be so ill. They, as a tribe, went into the Umbra and entered the Black Labyrinth. Well, unfortunately, when they returned, they were changed for the worse, because the worm was so ill, so sick, that it drove them crazy and killed many of them. They underestimated exactly what they were going in against, but they were tired of waiting on the sidelines and watching their friends die. They took the matter into their own hands. But that's how the Black Spiral dances came into being.
Oh, Alara said those are bad dogs and didn't allow or say more words about it. Okay. So those are just Guru who are in pain?
In a way, yes.
Well, shouldn't we help them? Why are we not helping them?
We are trying, believe me. But when it comes to Guru, the violence tends to be the first solution. And you also have to know you can't help something that doesn't want to be helped. Many of the Black Spiral dancers don't want to be helped. They want to dwell in their pain and suffering. They want to embrace the power that pain and suffering gives them. They've let the worm into their very core, and they believe the best solution is to end all of it. To let the worm win and let everything be destroyed. Burn it all down, as they say.
So they have lost their purpose.
Well, they've found a a dangerous purpose in wanting to destroy everything. That became their purpose.
Okay. Well,
Now, Willow,
Alright.
I want to make
Um,
sure something is very clear to you. You encounter one of these beings, you either fight or you run. And I prefer that you run at this time. Because just like the White Howlers, you can't underestimate them and what they're capable of. That pain runs very deep within their spirit. That sickness, it dwells in every ounce of their being. What we can do is try to find those who want to change, who want to heal, who just need a guiding light to show them out of the darkness. Like a star.
how do I do that? I would like to do that, please.
Well, first things first, you open your mind, your heart, and more importantly, your ears. And you take in every bit of knowledge that can be achieved in this set. Even if it comes from someone as grumpy as Alara or as strict as Charles, you have to know they've been living this life, or, well, not living it in Alara's case, for a very long time. They've seen a lot, they've experienced a lot, and they have a lot of wisdom to share.
But how do I see the wisdom when they talk? It's in such a manner that it feels like they are telling me what to do and not what to learn. Because it makes me confused. Because I'm like, this is supposed to be teaching, and that's not teaching when you are being that mean.
I think you'll find that because of the danger of what this life is, they want to make sure their message is heard loud and clear. When it comes off as a command, it expresses the urgency of the matter. For example, when I tell you if you encounter a black spiral dancer, you should run, I'm not saying that to be mean or thinking that you're not capable of doing something that you want to. I'm saying that because of how dangerous they are. And they are very dangerous.
Yes, but you say it with empathy and compassion. They say it in a way where it makes me feel stupid. And like they do not see me as intelligent or smart or someone who can learn. And like they are dumbing it down for me, and that is not what I want.
Fair. And you know the best way to get that? Tell them. They want you to learn. They want you to do well. But they are teaching you in the way that they were taught. Charles was raised in an almost militant situation where he had the knowledge quite literally beaten into him. Alara, she's a lupus-born. And most lupus-born, aside from you, my dear, are often very blunt and direct. It's not mean. It's just saying what's on your mind.
They sort of screw up their face like they're thinking for half a second. It's like, that is not... I mean, that is still... How my pack did it, yes, was very, you do the thing. But also, at the same time, with the order of rank, they still communicated in a way that is expecting understanding. And that is not what I have received from Charles and Alara, I don't think.
I can see that. But just like people are varied, so too are wolves. Your pack is unique. And while there are others that may be similar, they're not the same. To assume that everybody learned the way you did growing up is folly, is silly. Everybody learns differently. Every experience is unique and different. Instead of worrying about how they're saying it, just focus on what they're saying. And if it's still too difficult, tell them. They want to make sure you understand. You have to understand, we've had Lupusborn come through here that needed very simplified speech to understand pretty basic concepts. They weren't as intelligent as you. You encounter enough of those, you assume that's how they all are. And yes, it is not quite the right way to do it. You should treat each individual as an individual, but also understand that these Garou are under a lot of pressure. Dangers lurking, problems around every corner. They don't necessarily take the time to have that understanding. That's what I'm for. I'm here to soften that information as best as I can. But that's how I help carry their burden, and they carry mine. They keep me safe so that I can share what I've learned with you. I need them to be blunt and direct, because when we're in a conflict, a fight, I want them making the decisions of what happens next, because they are thinking logically, they are thinking strategically, and they know violence better than I do. It takes all kinds.
I am still finding that again. The last time I was able to be aggressive was my change. I have not allowed myself to do that since, because it hurt. And and it went bad. So I don't let myself do that often.
You need to. Keeping that rage all bottled up, it's a part of who we are. It's part of our very existence. We feel this otherworldly anger because of the state of Gaia, because of what's happening all around us. And sometimes we're not even aware how angry it makes us. If we don't tend to that anger, give it moments to be free or taken care of, what happened in your first change will inevitably happen again. A complete loss of control. Because the anger doesn't just go away. It has to go somewhere. And when you get enough of it, it's going to erupt.
They looked genuinely afraid for half a second. There was so much blood. And the sounds were loud and booming. And then I was told I could not follow my home anymore. And I just don't want to get thrown out again.
Well, I'm going to tell you something. Only the worm deals in absolutes. You may not have been able to go home then, but that doesn't mean always. Just means for now, while you learn to control yourself, while you learn what it is to be Guru. But I can tell you this, you will not. That will not have been the last time you see your family. It doesn't have to be, not if you don't want it to be.
I miss my mother every day.
Then work and learn and grow so that you can see her again. Rather than getting put off by how they're saying it, listen to what they are saying. See the truth in what they are saying behind the flat faces and dead eyes and angry lips. Listen to their wisdom because they were once like you. They once were optimistic and hopeful. And maybe, just maybe, you can teach them as well what it is to be hopeful and optimistic. We all are always learning, always. Anyone who thinks they know everything is a fool. You are just as much a student as you are a teacher, and vice versa. You have so much to offer. So in turn, take what they're offering you. They're not doing it to be mean, I promise you that.
Okay. I will try again. And keep empathy in mind.
When you do have a hard day, which you will, whether it's during learning or out on a mission, find a member of your pack or a member of this sept, someone that you trust, and you just tell them all about it. The amount of times Jester has complained to me about Charles or about Aspen or about anybody is too many to count. But you know what? I'm here for her every single time. Because then, once she's let it out, once she's said it, she feels better. She has the energy to get back in there and do it again.
Can I talk to you about it in the future as well?
Of course. For as long as I'm here, for as long as you'll let me, I'll be here listening.
They smile and sort of get that bounce back in their energy, just sort of shifting back and forth on their spot. Okay, good. Yes, good. Okay, good.
But I want to tell you something else. Even when I'm gone, I'll still be here to listen. You are in a very special place, Will-O-Wisp. A place where those that have come before still remain. And just like them, once I leave this physical body, my spirit will still be here. And even if you can't see me, know that I'm listening. The beauty of being Guru and what we are.
Death is not the end.
Doesn't have to be.
Okay, good. because I don't. That would be very sad if I could not talk to you again.
I'm always here, darling. You just look up to those stars and you'll see me. We're not called stargazers just for fun.
That's cool.
We'll talk more about spirits anytime you want to. But for now, consider what I've said. To get vulnerability, you have to give vulnerability. Listen to the words, not the way they're being said. And you too are a teacher, not just a student.
Okay. I will give everyone a second chance.
Good. Now run along now. You got them young, spry legs. I'm sure there's something out there that needs hunting.
Yeah, okay. Okay. Have fun with your clothes in river. And Willow's gonna go run off.
When you're ready to get your clothes washed after they've been dedicated, I'll wash yours too.
Thank you.
As you go running off into the woods, a little bit more of a bounce in your step, a little bit of lightness on your spirit and on your heart. What's going through your mind after this conversation with a very unlikely individual that you were told not to trust?
Honestly, it's putting Quinn's interpretation of things sort of in question a little bit. With that extreme reaction to stargazers. But at the same time, it's also thinking about, I need to tell Delphine. If I don't tell anyone else, I at least need to tell Delphine. She's pack leader. She needs to know in case it becomes a problem. I know Quinn knows, but at least the leader of the pack needs to know. So sort of, as I'm running off, the moment I'm out of sight, just sort of stopping and mulling that over my brain, like, how am I going to say this?
So as Willow thinks about what comes next, we will go to break. We'll be back in just a few minutes with the second half of tonight's story. St. Petersburg by Night is brought to you through collaboration with our partnered vendors, Chromatic Creations, Panchi Artista, Ember Fox Dice, Champs Tramps, and Howl and Hop Tea. Links to our partnered vendors, as well as our Twitch and YouTube channels, can be found on our website, stpetebynight.com. You can follow St. Pete by Night on all socials with the hashtag St. Pete by Night. If you wish to support our programs, you can do so at ko-fi.com/St. Pete by Night to help keep the stories rolling. Welcome back. As we return, we find ourselves in Ybor City, a small suburb of the greater Tampa area. Ybor is known for many things. One, for formerly being almost like a little Havana with its cigar factories, many of them closed or abandoned at this point, but also for locations like the Castle, a goth punk alternative nightclub, as well as Evanesce Tattoo Parlor, a place that's been open and a focal point for quite some time. Also where the Sept of the Evening Star was born, as they first arrived at a little shop in this area where they had many of their first meetings. But today, it's a walk and talk destination for two guru from the Hellhounds, Delphine and Quinn. As you're walking down the streets, which are lined with almost New Orleans-esque architecture, the sounds of chickens flapping their wings or clucking from nearby parking lots, drawing your attention to the oddity of it. What brings you to Ybor City, Delphine?
So Delphine initially wanted to meet with Quinn to get that little one-on-one time with him, since she already got it with Willow, to get to know him, ask him any questions he might have, ask her own questions, and also because initially she intended to bring Sean out to this Cuban place that she read about with her for her weekly lunch with him, but plans changed. But she still kind of wanted to check the place out because she researched it so much and wanted to at least give it a shot. So she even dressed up just a little bit just to try to start getting out of the dredge of wearing gross, oversized clothing that just scream of her days as a drug addict with an emaciated body. So she's trying to like dress up a little more, try to do an outer change to reflect all of the inner change that she's been doing lately.
And Quinn, what are your feelings being invited to go for a walk with the pack leader and member of the Sept, Delphine?
I think Quinn expects it in a way. He is newer to the Sept. She is the pack leader. I'm sure she has questions. Quinn and Willow did not come in on the best of turn, nor at the right time, apparently, for anybody at the Sept. So I'm sure there's questions there, and Quinn has his own questions that he would like to ask, specifically because she was named by a spirit, so there's something there. But Quinn is also dressed in lighter clothes than he came down with, now that it is significantly hotter than he's used to, so he's in more lighter clothes.
So as you walk the streets, the crowds aren't too thick or heavy as it's mid-afternoon on a weekday. Most people are still at work, so there's plenty of room to walk and talk a little bit more freely than you would normally find comfortable due to how few people are milling about. Some are coming to or going from stores, but for the most part, the sidewalk is yours, and now so is the scene.
So Delphine will just be sipping on a iced coffee that she grabbed from the Cuban place they visited. She'll have like a bag of ham croquettes and some pastries too. Since the place didn't really have seating, it's more of a grab and go sort of place. And taking a sip, she'll glance over at Quinn and just tilt her head at him. So how are you adjusting? How are you liking the place?
Quinn, who is probably mid-bite, some sort of sandwich with cheese, salami, ham, mortadella, just a big packed up sandwich. In mid-bite, will say, "Oh, I'm doing fine. I'm settled in."
Everyone's been cool at the house and everything. People you settling in with everyone okay? Meshing with them okay?
Yeah, pretty much. I've mainly really only talked with Ray. He's pretty okay. Forged stinks like hell. And Juniper, I find sometimes she's watching me in my sleep, but that's okay.
Yeah, she's glossing over Ray in her head. Forged does that sometimes. It's a bone gnar thing, but also he doesn't believe in cleaning the house at all. And the other one, I mean, we could talk about that. Do you feel okay, or is it bothering you in any capacity?
I think I just want to more know if this is just like a thing she does for trauma, or if she's planning to kill me in the night.
I think she might have been a little off-put by some of the things that she was inferring from when we spoke with Willow. Seems to think that maybe you hurt Willow in some capacity, but I'll let you answer that. Have you done anything to her? Like, did you guys, when she changed, did you guys fight or something?
Oh, I mean, Quinn will kind of like sit back and really try to determine what he wants to say to Delphine. But he'll say, "No, I didn't fight her. I found her after she had run from her change wherever she was at, and later on I found out why she did. But no, I didn't touch her."
I didn't want to assume. She's a lupus. She looks around. She's a lupus born, so I would imagine she's not good with context yet. And I know that she's got a lot of, and she just frowns a little bit. She's pretty banged up for a lupus born, so I think Juniper is just a little immediately protective of. Juniper likes animals more than people.
Okay, I can understand that. But no, from what I know, she was in an animal testing facility. I don't know how severe it was, but clearly those scars are deep.
Oh. Oh no. Oh. Yeah. Yeah, because she kind of shut down when we started asking her about the scars and stuff, and she was kind of looked a little haunted and traumatized.
Yeah, I stopped asking her and having her tell me more and more of it because she just kept shutting down, and it was just better to have her smile and be happy and be away from the place rather than continuously asking her to try to talk about it.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. I figured I'd let her already. I already naturally would have already let her talk about it in her own time. She didn't seem ready yet, which makes sense. She's really young, and I don't think she has a full grasp on people stuff too much yet. Though her vocabulary is very impressive for a lupus born.
Yeah, she's really smart. She really wants to learn, and I've been trying to teach her that. I've been trying to teach her human things, but it's harder for her to understand the human concept of things rather than learning words. So it's just easier to have her learn the words first.
I mean, every night she keeps coming over to me so I can read her Hunger Games, so she's definitely curious, and that's a good thing. I think she'll pick up on stuff very quickly. She's very smart.
Oh, absolutely.
But what about you? I got a little bit of context now with Willow, but what's your deal?
Oh, I'm very smart too.
She chuckles a little bit and shakes her head. I meant more I know we got a little bit of your story about the guy following you over all of that.
Yeah, well, my change wasn't too volatile. I lost my dad when I was 15, my mom when I was 18. Sep picked me up, and I've been training to be a kin seeker ever since.
Okay. And you've been a Gary for 4 years now, so you got some years on the rest of us. I'm hitting 2 years here next month. We've actually. She furrows her brow, and just like, huh. I just realized we've been here a year now.
Congratulations.
Yeah, it's felt longer.
Yeah, that's how it usually goes. I do have a question for you actually, if we're
Yeah.
sharing things.
Yeah, absolutely.
Steak did give us a rundown of everyone here, just a general basis, and she said that you're recovering.
She stiffens a little bit at that and kind of just resists biting the side of her tongue in annoyance, just because she gets Steaks didn't mean anything by it, but she doesn't like advertising it herself. And but now that it's just out there a little bit, she'll take a little bit of a deep breath. Yeah, I had a drug problem for a little bit there. And been clean for 3 months now.
Hey, that's amazing. My mother was addicted to alcohol, so I know a little something about that. She could never get clean.
Yeah, it's hard.
Of course it is, and it's respectable and honest work to keep trying and keep at it.
Uh-huh. Yeah. But yeah, she's kind of just like wanting to move past this point, because talking about it it's only been 3 months and it's still a little hard. And she very blatantly changes the subject. So what are you good at other than just finding others?
Well, that's kind of it. That's really all I've been trained about. I'm not a good fighter. I could take a punch very well, but I'm pretty sneaky. I can be pretty sneaky at times, and I can also kind of be a bit of a taunt, we'll say.
A taunt?
An ass. I can be an ass.
I mean, not something we're unused to, especially in this pack. But okay, yeah, no, I mean, sneaking's always good. Taking a hit, also good, because I could not relate.
That's valid. Yeah, I know I don't look the part of being able to take a hit, but I spent a very hard life taking hits.
She clocks that a little bit and just gives a little bit of a nod, right? Did you have any questions about the place, the area, the home base?
I did want to know why Ember was so adamant about talking about you. They seem to talk about you in a special way, so I want to know what makes you special.
Honestly, I don't think I'm all that special. I think that she probably referred to me because I'd be more malleable and more open to potentially welcoming you two.
Quinn kind of takes that in for a second, pondering it over and processing it, knowing that spirits don't just randomly say things just because someone's easier to talk to. And he'll say, all right, so tell me about what you do then.
I guess I guide them.
Well, that is what theurgers do. That was a dumb question for me. Yeah, you're right.
I guide them. I try to, at least. It's not the easiest job in the world. Forged is crude and abrasive upon first meeting him, because realistically he's afraid of forming attachments with people because he's scared of losing them. So he may have been acting like an asshole, but it's because he doesn't want to get hurt. He does this act of being confrontational and just being a downright ass. But he's actually capable of being caring and intelligent if he chooses to. But that comes with trust. Juniper has issues with authority. Very ragabash of her, but it's mainly because she has the least faith in humanity out of all of us. She's been hurt very badly by just life. I think she feels sometimes that if she can just assume the worst about people, that she won't get hurt. And then Ray is reserved, and he's not one to open up about himself. It's difficult to connect with him sometimes. He can open up, he has the potential to open up, but he's scared of being judged for his actions and his decisions.
Yeah, Ray was pretty evident in that one. He's an open book when it comes to that.
She'll frown a little bit as she talks about Ray. The plastic of her cup kind of just bending a little bit to the sudden grip in her hand. And you can hear like the plastic kind of do that like crackle sound. But she'll clear her throat. My pack isn't one to trust easily. So it's something that both you and Willow are going to have to earn. But I'm willing to give you guys a shot. Gaia and Ember brought you here for a reason. And if we're quick to judge, if we were just quick to judge, then I don't think we would have welcomed the versions of ourselves that were here a year ago into the pack if we looked at them today.
Quinn will put his sandwich down and hold out his hand as if he's going to shake Delphine's hand.
She'll look down at it and just set the bag of croquettes and pastries down. She'll hold out her hand.
He will take her hand and hold it.
Is this supposed to be a handshake? Because I think you're missing a gesture here.
No, and he'll let go.
She looks very confused.
Delphine, will you roll me a wits and occult, please?
One rage, I assume?
Yes.
That'll be 3 successes.
You're very much distracted by this conversation with Quinn, especially after that very unusual interaction. But almost as if it's passing on the breeze, you hear a strange voice accompanied by clicking. And it says,
Roto, Roto, Rapido, Rapido, Roto, Roto.
You see her suddenly just like turn and look in the direction of something she heard.
You all right, Delphine?
I heard something. And she'll start walking towards the direction she heard it almost instinctively, just like not even acknowledging Quinn too much, just entering her weird theurge flow state.
Quinn will follow.
okay, with 3 successes, you can pick up on the sound of a ticking, like it's a clock ticking, echoing on the wind. But as you look around, there's no obvious source to it, but you can hear it moving away. And so trying to keep up with it, following the sound, you find yourself leaving the main drag of Ybor City and heading out of the downtown, quote unquote, area of Ybor City. And as you follow it, you eventually find yourself outside of a 3-story brick building that's surrounded by a chain link fence. The top 2 floor windows look like they've been long since broken or busted out. It looks like this is a place looking possibly for demolition or renovation. It's hard to tell. But looking over the building, you can hear the ticking coming through, almost echoing off of the brick walls and coming out through the broken windows.
She'll just be staring at the building and then just asking Quinn without looking away, "Do you hear that?"
Do I hear this?
No.
I don't hear anything, Delphine.
Upon hearing that Quinn can't hear it, I'll activate my penumbral senses.
Okay. Give me a willpower and an intelligence and occult.
I mean, wisdom and occult?
Wisdom and occult.
intelligence?
Sorry. Yes, wisdom and intelligence. My mistake.
Ooh, heck yeah, that's 4 successes.
Okay, so as your vision blurs, looking upon the building beyond, you see a structure matching that structure, pretty much identical, except the bricks are made of those long, slender webs of the weaver. You can see that there are several broken strands of these webs that are kind of dangling loose from the structure. And inside, you see a very dull glow emanating from inside the building. You can also hear the ticking a little bit more clearly as you're concerting effort to look to the other side. And you can see from the dull glow, it casts shadows onto the brick walls around the interior. And every now and then you see a shadow cross over the light's path rapidly, almost like skittering across.
She stares at the building a little bit. Quinn will see that she kind of has like that hazed over look in her eyes if he's spent enough time around theurges who look into the umbra. And she winces a little bit just because, man, the umbra in the city is always overstimulating. But she'll blink a little bit and then look at him. How do you feel about breaking and entering?
Oh, that sounds like fun.
Okay. So how do you wish to go about this? Do you wish to try and break the lock and get in through the chain link? Are you trying to climb over? How do you want to approach? Because the fence seems to surround the entire exterior of the building.
I would like to try to pick the lock if I can, because I don't like the idea of climbing in a maxi skirt.
Okay. Go ahead and give me a dexterity and larceny then.
Can Quinn help since he has a dot?
Sure.
Two successes.
Okay. 2 successes aren't quite enough to pick the lock on this gate. You try jamming your small wired lock picks in, but you can't quite get them to line up with the tumblers well.
She stares at the lock as it's not doing the thing and mutters a little bit of a curse. She's just like, fuck, I wish Rory was still here.
You want some help?
I can't. She looks at the chain link fence and then like down at her skirt. I don't want to get caught in the fence. I'm not
I can
good at
help you with
climbing
that.
either. What, like a boost up?
Yeah. Or I can climb up on it and then pull you up.
Let's do that one. I'm not athletic.
Sure.
Hey, Quinn, give me a strength and athletics to scale the fence. And if you are successful, you'll be able to give Delphine a bonus die to do the same thing.
That is 3 successes.
Easily enough, you scale up like a spider monkey to the top of the chain link fence, and then putting one foot on one side, one foot on the other, you reach down a hand towards Delphine. Delphine, repeat the roll, strength and athletics, but you can take an additional bonus die. That'll be enough for this purpose. It's not easy, and Quinn, you find that you're doing a good amount of the help on this as you're literally pulling her up on top of the fence, but you both manage to scale the fence over to the other side.
Yeah, once they're over the fence and on the other side, like on the gravel road, like gravel surrounding the building, she'll look towards the building and just start scanning for a method of getting in.
Heh, give me a wits and investigation.
Quinn will do his own investigation as well in the same.
Two successes.
Okay. Quinn?
4 successes for Quinn.
Okay. So with 4 successes, Delphine is primarily scoping out the front door, it seems, which is, of course, also locked. But you find that as you look around the side of the building, you can actually see that one of the windows looks like it's just a little bit propped open. Like maybe the lock's broken on it, or maybe they opened it up to air out whatever's inside to get a flow of air going through the bottom floor. But there is a window.
Quinn will look over to Delphine. Delphine, over here.
She'll head on over, see the window, and she'll just be like, okay, good.
So as you prop open the window, no roll required, you scale your way into the building, and you find that you are in a large, empty concrete space. It looks like at one point this may have been a factory, but most of the machinery has been torn out. Maybe there's a few broken machines still there, but you can see the spaces and the hookups from where they probably were. It's a multi-level facility, so there is a staircase off to one side going up into the second floor of the building, but the bottom floor seems to be primarily empty. You can see that there actually is some spray paint markings on some walls, as well as some trash left or piled up into a corner. So it's likely that some Ybor goers have probably been making this a hangout after the bars close, or maybe some kids are getting in and, you know, doing some illicit things when they have the opportunity.
She'll be scanning around, and she'll remember the words she heard, which sounded like Spanish to her, so she just instinctively, in Spanish, since she does speak it, will just call out "Necesita ayuda," which in English means "Do you need help?"
You hear a skittering, but it sounds more like tink, 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 tink. It says in Spanish, "Who is there?"
Continuing just in Spanish, she'll just say, "They call me Gaia Speaker."
You hear the same tinking as it starts to skitter, and then you hear it echoing from the staircase. And as it appears, what you see is a cracked clock face attached to what looks to be little rebar legs. It's actually only about 18 inches to 2 feet tall, but it looks like this little robotic mechanism. It has bricks making up the thorax. It looks like it could be a spider or perhaps an ant-shaped creature, but from its bottom thorax, it's made of just solid broken brick. There's some, like almost like a metallic box making up its chest, and then this winding geared clock atop its head. And you see the clock dip its way out, looking in your direction. You can see the hands of the clock moving as it's making the ticking noise coming from it.
Quinn will just see Delphine staring down at something around the stairs, and still that glazed over look in her eyes. She'll just turn to him, kind of has like her eyes kind of having a hard time adjusting as she's trying to focus on both worlds at once. And she'll tell him, "There's a spirit here. It's a very unique." As she looks at it more, "I think it's a pattern spider."
Okay, well, do you want to, are you talking to it? You're speaking Spanish.
Yes, glad that class did not go to waste in high school, but yeah, and she'll look at the spirit again, and she'll ask it in English. She'll like, "Do you speak English?"
The spirit just stares at you from the staircase and then cocks its little clock head to the side.
Amiga?
She'll nod at it like, "Yes, friend, amiga," and she'll look at Quinn, "Also, friend, amigo."
Says in Spanish, "This way, quickly."
And then
We're
it just
gonna
goes
follow.
skittering up the stairs.
And we're gonna follow it.
I will follow you then.
It seems to want help with something.
Oh, that's fun.
She'll just, as she's following, she'll just say, "Well, I mean, the spirits I want to try to like have a better relationship with the spirits in the city, since we're in the cairn so often and not as close to the center of everything. I feel like sometimes this area can get neglected, spirit umbral wise."
Quinn will kind of chuckle at that and says, "Yeah, Delphine, I understand that we need to connect with spirits. I have been a part of this world for a while.
I don't know why I explained it. Sorry.
It's okay.
And she'll like look like legitimately just like eager and excited to have something to do with spirits that wasn't like initiated by either Jace or Eliza, because like Jace has the spirit courts and Eliza of course is the right master and has this special relationship with the cairn and all the spirits in it. So she's kind of just excited to have the prospect of being a theurge and doing the theurge stuff with something that she just discovered on her own.
As you mount the stairs, chasing behind this tiny little creature as it skitters around, you get to the second floor, and you can see that there are several of these manufacturing packaging machines lining the walls. You can tell very much so that this was an old cigar factory, and these machines are probably well past their use date, having been out of service for quite some time. Maybe with a little bit of repair they could get functional again, but what would you need a cigar wrapping machine for? But as you come to the other side, you see a large, almost like generator is in the center of the room. It looks like a lot of the power comes through this generator before going off to the separate machines on either side. And then you hear that saying tink, 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 tink as the spirit climbs on top of the machine in the center, and then just tapping with one of its front rebar legs goes, "Roto, roto."
And she'll look at Quinn. The machine's broken. It's trying to fix it.
Oh, do we want to fix it?
Do you know how to fix it?
I could try.
Delphine, give me a wits and occult roll.
Does my Umber specialty come into play?
Yes.
Extra die then. 4 successes.
As you're looking towards the other side, you realize this appears to be where that dull glow is coming from, is this machine. Housed within the casing of the machine, it's almost like a mote of light at this point. Very faint, very soft. But with your roll, you recognize this to be a font of energy, of power, the kind that might be used for the construction of a cairn.
She stares at it for a moment, studying, and she'll just like take a step back and then look at Quinn. I think this was a cairn.
I mean, yeah, I guess. Many places can be different types of cairns. The city cairns are kind of rare, though.
We found one. And she'll look at the spirit again. And in Spanish was was this a cairn?
See?
You sound confused, maybe not fully? Never finished?
See. And its little clock head kind of bobbles up and down.
She'll chuckle a little bit. Dude, this thing is so cute.
Oh, damn. Can't believe I'm missing it.
It's got like a clock face head with like gears, and its body is like red brick and rebar.
Oh, wow. That is cute.
And it's only speaking in Spanish.
Oh, well, that makes it cuter.
Roto! Roto!
She frowns a little bit and just walks over and looks over the moat a little bit. And yeah, I know it's broken, but maybe I can help fix it.
It bobbles up and down on its little rebar legs, just up and down excitedly.
Okay, I'm gonna bring more friends, more amigos, and we can help you. We can help you fix this.
Sí, rápido. Roto.
Okay, patience. Paciencia.
You see it kind of like wilts a little bit as if it's just like, but it just bobbles up and down again.
I gotta. Something like this needs more. 2 people can't just do it alone. I'll talk with more friends, talk to others like me to see what we can do and help with this.
Mucho guru. Sí.
Mucho guru. She'll gesture in the direction of, cause like even from the city, we can kind of in the Umbra see where, like, I've seen stars like light from the Umbra before. Yeah, so she'll just gesture in the direction of where Star's light usually shines in the Umbra. And she'll look at the little spirit. Friend, the more guru over there. There's more guru over there. And you can come if you want company until we can fix this.
It stares at you for a moment, and then you see its clock head like wiggle back and forth in a head shake.
No. Wild.
And your weaver.
The amigo Greer.
Being here a year, have we heard the name Greer?
I would say if you've been learning about the old Sept or anything like that, you probably would have heard that one of the elders was named Greer and they owned a storage facility.
Upon hearing the word Greer, she'll pause and just mentally already just like, crap, I gotta go talk to Aspen and Jester. But she'll nod at it and immediately also think of Eliza, because maybe Eliza knows this spirit. And she'll look down at him. Eliza? Do you know Eliza? Stargazer.
No.
No. But you knew Greer. I don't know Greer. I didn't.
Sí, amigo Greer.
She'll laugh. She'll laugh and she'll look at Quinn. Okay, we're gonna need to get some intel on someone from the old Sept for the area. There was an old Sept here before Aspen and all of them came here. I don't know if you've been filled in on that part with your lessons
sure.
with Charles yet.
At this rate, anything could have happened. Whatever.
I'm sorry you can't see it.
It's okay. Can I look at the thing that this thing wants us to try and fix?
Yeah, give me a wits and science.
Damn. Okay.
What were you thinking?
I was thinking maybe craft.
Sure, let's do it. Wits and craft.
And I assume weaponsmithing wouldn't apply.
No, but you,
Okay.
yeah, you might be able to get something. It's a mechanical thing. Weaponsmithing can often be if you're working on guns or anything like that. So maybe there's something, but no, you can't get the specialty.
Fair. That is 3 successes.
Okay, so as you open it up, looking into the generator itself, you can see that several of the fuses are blown and worn out. Any electricity that is coming into this place or would be coming into this place would be minimal at best. This would be responsible for powering a lot of the machines around. You can see several of the circuits are fried. The fuses are blown beyond repair. They'd have to be replaced most likely, which is probably not going to be easy to do considering the age of this machine. But yeah, it is it is, let's just say, fucked.
Quinn will kind of back away and close whatever hatch is there to look into it and say, Delphine, this is gonna be shitty. It's gonna be a lot of work.
She'll frown. She'll smirk at that. You know, Artie.
See, we have heard of Artie.
So that means Regina too.
Amiga Regina.
All right, I think I know who we talked to about this. This is gonna be an Artie. This is gonna be something we're gonna need Artie's expertise on.
Sure.
Which I'm thinking he might be glad he has to do something that's not like hacktivist related right now.
At this point, you see the spider-like spirit crawl its way over until it seems to be standing right in front of Quinn, and then just lifts up one of its rebar legs and just waves it in front of their face.
She's watching and just chuckling. You can see her just like snickering, covering her mouth, like staring at a spot right in front of Quinn.
It points its leg at Quinn several times, then looks to you.
Stupido?
Snorts, audibly snorts. And in Spanish, we'll just say, short-sighted.
Stupido, see.
And then it just bounces up and down again.
She'll smile and crouch down in front of it. We're gonna go get amigos. We're gonna go bring maybe Artie. And see if what we can do to fix the machine.
Rota. And it points at the box again.
Not for long, I promise. We're gonna fix it.
Bounces up and down again excitedly.
I gotta go for right now, but I will come back. I'll check in.
It nods excitedly before it scampers over on top of one of the machines over towards one of the windows, and you can see it's like reaching up, bouncing up and down, trying to grab one of this loose strands of web that are hanging down before finally getting really low and then launching itself up to hang on to the web and slowly drag it downwards towards it.
She'll look at Quinn and just nod to him. All right, we can go.
Yeah, okay, sure.
Sorry, I got sidetracked, but that happens.
Yeah, that's fine.
At this point, the spider sees you departing, and it waves one of its rebar legs again and says in Spanish,
Goodbye, smarty and stupid.
She'll chuckle again and just is very glad that Quinn isn't hearing it, because this is just funny for her right now, and she could use the laugh after everything that's been going on. But as they're walking, like, she'll like lead the way in walking out, because she doesn't want to stick around in here too much longer, because it's broad daylight and she's sure that there's construction crews around that could potentially report them and stuff.
yeah, that being said, I'm not going to have you do the athletics roll to get over the fence again, but I want stealth rolls from both of you.
Will my favor for stealth rolls for traversal, escape, or infiltration work?
Yeah, absolutely.
I got 5 on a crit.
I got 3.
Quieter than a cat on gravel, when you make your way out and over the fence. Delphine rattles the fence slightly, but once you put a hand to it and hold it still, it seems to calm the noise enough for you to help them over the fence to the other side. As you get back out onto the street, this was kind of the perfect way and time to get here, as the streets are still pretty barren. You can see out behind the building is a neighborhood with several houses lined up across the street, along the street's side. In fact, in front of one of the houses, you see a for rent sign.
She'll stare at it for a few moments and look back at the building. And then just glance at Quinn. Think you came at an interesting time.
Yeah, I'm getting that.
At least you're not coming in when we're fighting plant zombies.
Yeah, well, I mean, that would have been interesting, I'm sure.
No, not at all. Not fun.
I'll take your word for it.
Come on, we gotta head back to the cairn.
Is your penumbral senses still up?
Very much so.
Okay. So as you get further away from the building, the voice is softer, but still in a sing-song-like voice, a mechanical sing-song-like voice.
Stupido y elegante, rapido amigo.
Lips pressed tight, resisting the urge to just burst out laughing, and she's not doing a good job hiding it. But she's just not meeting Quinn's gaze because she knows that if she does look at him, it's over. She will just burst out laughing.
So as you head off back into the city to go find some more answers with plenty of questions, we transition to our final scene of the evening. Your bags are packed. All that remains is the journey ahead of you. But unlike previous Hellhounds expeditions, Juniper insists that you're prepared. So, you've come to the cairn to speak with Artie and Charles to get any intel that you can, any last-minute advice, any assistance whatsoever. As instead of a full pack, it's just the two of you. So as you arrive at the cairn in the good early afternoon, the sun bathing the clearing in light, whereas dappled sunlight creates shadow on the exterior, you find Charles and Artie both waiting by that large hand-carved meeting table. Artie looks like he has a iPad or a tablet of some kind out, but you could see that he's frustratedly poking at the screen due to the lack of internet connection. It doesn't seem to be having much success doing what he wants to do, but upon seeing both of you, he gives a smile and a wave, gesturing you over towards the table.
Forge, not dressed in his usual frat bro kind of style, actually wearing a bit more of a comfortable t-shirt, a bit more larger on him for comfort, and just standard shorts, walks up, kind of expecting a whole speech on why they shouldn't go, kind of getting ready for that and preparing mentally for the whole, you know, you're so stupid speech.
I am just dressed in my regular attire. I've got my very worn hiking boots on, some comfortable tan pants, and just a solid gray shirt. I am keeping an eye on Forge, who seems to be like braced for impact. But I don't have the same concerns that he does. I don't think that we're gonna be talked out of this. I'm more concerned about Artie angrily tapping on his technology right now.
As you approach the table, Artie sets the tablet down on the table's surface and offers a bright, warm smile as he says, "All right, Sam and Frodo, if you're really planning on heading to Mount Doom, we gotta discuss this and figure out what the strategy is gonna be. Luckily, I managed to take a few screenshots before I got out here to this technological wasteland." He then reaches over and picks up the tablet. So, as far as I know, the plan is to head into Michigan. Now, I've been doing pretty routine surveillance around the area there, not just around Ann Arbor and Hell and the surrounds, but the state as a whole, going up all the way to the mines to see if I could track any movements. Fortunately, or unfortunately, depending on how you view it, there's been no sign, no sight, no sound of any Black Spiral Dancer activity. However, it being winter and it being a harsh winter at that, there was a lot of interference at times with some of the surveillance. Cameras getting snowed over, a couple of power outages that killed, nearby business cameras. Only those with battery backups really working. So I think it's nothing, but I always am the paranoid sort. So we didn't see anything. We couldn't track anything, but that doesn't mean there's nothing there. However, it's a positive thing because I looked into the area of your former sept and everything's quiet out there too. The bar was recently sold and there is a new owner coming in to take over arrangements and operations of the bar. The park nearby hasn't experienced any unusual activity as far as I can tell, where the center of the cairn was, or so I was told by Stakes. So they haven't approached your former sept's location, if that's any indication or any help. I also managed to, and he flips through a couple of photos, then brings up a still image of the front of Forged's parents' house, the Fletcher residence. I've checked all the footage I can from this doorbell camera. Nothing unusual. Just the usual comings and goings to and from work, it seems. Looks like the sister's still attending college, so, that's all happening. But I didn't see anything off-putting, although darkness and, again, the weather could have caused some interference, but it doesn't look like you're heading into anything overtly dangerous at the moment, at least. Now, what I did find that is probably of interest, and he flips to another photo, and you can see that it looks like it is security camera footage from DTW, Detroit Metropolitan Airport. And he brings up a still where you see Lila carrying Cooper heading out of the airport towards a luxury sedan-esque car where there is a driver standing out front holding a sign that says Lila West. The footage is a little bit grainy, but if you want, you can roll wits and investigation to see if you can pick up any more information.
I'll do that.
I would love to do that. I would ask would it be something to maybe my favor kick in for finding something lost or overlooked?
Yeah, absolutely.
What range are we at?
I'd say you're probably at a 1. You might get a little bit more anxious or riled up when you go to leave, but this is preparation. It's very calming to be going through this procedure.
I'm actually going to use a willpower because I really want to, make sure I'm getting all the information I can. 4 successes from me.
I got 5 successes.
As you both look at the image, 2 things stand out. One, the driver, who's wearing thick black sunglasses, a driver's cap, and a suit. Bradley, as you stare at it, you see the face of your brother Jacob, wearing a wig and a hat and sunglasses as the driver. But what you notice, Juniper, as Forged stares at the image of his brother standing there holding the sign, is at the next car behind it, sitting in the driver's seat looking like they're waiting to pick someone up, is Rick, sitting behind the driver's side.
Is that Rick?
Hearing the name Rick kind of knocks Forged out of his deep thought as he's staring at now the grown, obscure face of his brother, something he never thought he would see, or at least convinced himself he would never see for quite a while. As his eyes will look over to Rick, the eyebrows furrowed, he starts to look even more pissed. How fucking course this dude would be here.
Now here's the off-putting thing. As you're looking at Jacob, he's older than he should be. At least 2 or 3 years older than he should be.
So, I guess we know he's at least dealing with the dancers now, and I don't know why. I don't know if he looks up now to Artie and Charles. I don't know if one of you two know why this might be the case, but dude, my brother's older than he should be. He should at least be 2 or 3 years younger than he looks, but dude, I don't know, something just looks wrong.
Charles speaks up and says, he was taken in by the dancers. It's likely he spent some time in the Black Labyrinth. And time doesn't work the same there. If he's older, he likely spent a great deal of time there.
I know that we've kind of talked about the labyrinth before, but what exactly?
Well, the title defines it as best as anything can. It is an unending series of tunnels that leads, so some believe, to the heart of the worm's lair. The last anyone willingly tried to enter into the Black Labyrinth was what caused the formation of the Black Spiral Dancers. It is a maddening series of corridors. Nobody has a fully detailed report of what went on there because no one survives if they go in. And if they do manage to emerge, they are forever changed.
So you're telling me that most likely than not, my bro's a Black Spiral Dancer?
Either that or something worse, and I'd rather not try and comprehend the latter.
Forge's face is like very hard right now. He's kind of an emotionless face right now. He's trying to keep himself together, keep a hold of his emotions as he contemplates that. As he wanted to hope that his brother was just captive, and not a part of them. But you can't refuse the evidence. Looking him straight in the face now, as he'll understand that.
Forge, roll me a wits and insight.
You got it. Four successes.
Staring at the face of your brother, Jacob. Now, he does look older, and it has been some time since you've been in his presence, but brothers who spent even a decade or so together get to know each other's mannerisms. What you see on your brother's face is a muted, mischievous glee. The smallest corner of his lips are upturned, and though you can't see his eyes, you can only imagine that they are staring holes at Lila and Cooper as they exit the building.
He's just staring at the picture of his brother, gleaming that mannerism. As he clenches his jaw, he'll say, he planned this. He's wanting to do something with it. I don't know what, but he had this look. I know it. There's something more to this.
Now, obviously, it goes without saying that the car that he is standing next to matches the car that was in the storage unit that you found before.
Juniper, we're probably gonna walk into something fucked here, and if you want to back out now, knowing that Rick and my brother being a Black Sparrow dancer is involved, that's okay.
Forged, there is not a single part of me that wishes to back out this time, and there won't be through any of it. No matter how fucked it gets. And I have a pretty good idea of how fucked it's gonna get.
Well, I had a feeling you wouldn't like that, Artie says. So you're definitely not gonna like this. And he flips the image again, and it's the same shot of the parking lot, except Lila and Cooper are obviously in the car, and you see Jacob looking at the camera, doing one of these, like a peace symbol, as he just smiles broadly at the camera, like, deuces.
I think I already know the answer, but I'm gonna ask anyways. Artie, Charles, y'all ever heard of a Black Spire dancer being brought back? Being made not into a evil, murderous psycho?
Artie just shakes his head before looking towards Charles. Charles looks deadpan for the most part at Forged. Nothing is impossible, but with how long it appears he's spent in the labyrinth, I would be surprised if there's even the slightest bit of your brother left. And the question is, can you live long enough to get to him? Because they don't work alone.
That much is clear just from these pictures. I mean, Rick's directly fucking behind him.
And I'm going to tell you something that was told to Raymond time and time again. What are you willing to pay on the attempt? Juniper? Your child? Your life?
Look, this mission, what we're going for now, this is for my kid. Okay, first and foremost, no matter what, this is about him. I will always choose him first. I know my brother has connections. I know he has other dancers, so I know it's probably not a good idea, but if there's a chance I can save my brother, though, I have to. That's what kind of brother would I be if I didn't try to save him? I fucked up once before. I can't do it again.
He's going to use that. He's going to use the fact that you are after your child against you.
This is a very fucked up question that I'm about to ask. I'm just putting it out there now. The labyrinth must psychologically break down everyone who goes into it on such a level that it fundamentally changes their core.
Yes, an entire tribe of Elder Guru.
Is there anything we can do to psychologically break them in the same way, but opposite?
All that the Black Spiral Dancers care about is seeing the worm win. The end of everything. Most dancers, I won't make an absolute statement in this case, but most dancers have nothing that they care for. Nothing that they wouldn't willingly sacrifice to see it bring about the end. They know what they're doing ends in their demise, and they don't care. They welcome it. They believe it will remake the world.
Yeah. Fuck. I had to ask.
Well, it is a good question, because for some reason, this one has a personal vendetta they're hanging on to, enough that they would choose this course of action over just destruction and decay. And I mean this with no offense. They would have killed that baby. With no question. But they didn't. So why is that?
Do they want to add Forged to the Black Spiral Dancers?
Possibly. Or perhaps the child.
It's just, but why the mockery, I suppose. I guess I know. It's because I failed him as a brother, and I fucked up really bad. That's probably why he has this vendetta, and either he wants to bring me in and bring me as low as him, or just torture me with the knowledge that take my kid in.
Charles reaches out like a blur and grabs the front of your shirt, Forged, and pulls you in close. That feeling, that right there, this is the last time you get to feel it. When you go up there, you have to be cold as ice. Because if they detect any weakness, they will exploit it. You want to know why he did that? For the feeling you have right now. To shake you. To throw you. To guilt you. So feel it now while you're safe, because where you're going, nowhere is safe. And he releases your shirt.
We're just holding in his breath that whole time as he was brought in. He's not hiding it. He was shaken by being pulled in like that and what he was told. And as he let go, allows himself to actually take a breath and exhale as he focuses in and not quite absolving himself of these feelings, but more just pushing them down now. He can't feel these right now. He has to lock in for his kid.
Charles stares at Forged, studying him and his reaction. He then reaches over and kind of brushes off the wrinkles on the shirt and the shoulder. There's a saying, dress the part to get the part. So, in preparation for your little journey, Charles turns back and then reaches down onto the seats of one of the chairs and pulls up a suit and tie. If you can't be ice cold, pretend like you're someone who is. And he shoves the suit in your direction.
You'll see his eyes are wide as he stares at this suit, as when he'll take it into his hands, actually very delicately, opposed to what one might suspect Forge would do, as he's holding something presumably way more expensive than anything he could ever afford, as almost scared to damage it with just his hands alone. He'll kind of study it for a moment before trying his best to neatly fold it and putting it over his shoulder to hold on to, as he'll say, no. Shit, Charles, thanks, appreciate it.
Use it as your suit of armor. Do not let them see you crack. Do not let them see you bend. I can't even begin to imagine what you're feeling through all of this. But I can tell you what they will do with that information if they learn it. They will break you down, they will tear you apart, and they'll throw you into the labyrinth, assuming they don't kill you.
I won't let them. Not have too much riding on me now. Too many people believing in me, and to me. My kids rely on me. I can't.
Bradley was a weak, emotional bully. Deadbeat was the cover-up for that bully. You are forged from failures. You are not that person anymore.
He closes his eyes, internalizing those words as the weight of this whole operation kind of fully setting in now, knowing not just going in and being sneaky and saving, grabbing his kid and running. No, this is going into a very dangerous situation with a very deranged version of his brother, a very damaged version of his brother. And a lot more at stake here than even just his own life. His own soul on the line here at this point. He'll nod.
Artie will step up, looking at Juniper. So, squishy, huggy, lovey, Arun shit aside, I made some arrangements for you guys. I booked you a flight, and I rented you a car, because I think if you take the van up there, they might know it and be looking for it. So I got you, and he kind of smiles, a Jeep that's waiting for you up in Michigan. So, here's all the information you need, and he reaches over and grabs a stack of papers. I'll send you a text message with the actual links when I can, but I figure a hard copy doesn't hurt anybody.
I genuinely smile at him and take all of the stuff. I appreciate this, Artie. And the Jeep is a very nice touch.
I figured you'd like that. Consider this a reconnaissance mission. That's my advice to you. I know that there are so many things that could happen, so many ways this could go wrong. But if you go in with the idea that you're just trying to gather information, it's a good starting point. If you see an opening, obviously take it, but be safe, okay? I know we just got this new guy, Ragabash, in town, but I'm kind of fond of this brand.
I'll make sure that we make it out alive.
Good.
So, masks off then, right, Charles?
Charles nods his head. You are both perfectly capable. But when cracks start to form, everything shatters. You need to be solid, not just as individuals, but together, if you have any hopes of making it out of this. Could be that you're walking into nothing and that you'll find nothing. But I don't ever believe that.
Yeah. We're definitely not gonna find nothing up there. Forged. Do you trust me? And as I turn to look at him, the light and happiness in my eyes fades away, and my face just turns blank.
Giving back a similar blank expression, forcing the emotions down to be completely focused on this situation, what's going on, set aside his childishness and selfishness for this moment, emulating what he imagines a badass Arun should be like, essentially imagining himself as Charles right now, as he will nod to Juniper and say, I trust you, Juniper.
Not to be outdone by my Glasswalker counterpart, Charles reaches into his belt and pulls out a pistol, ejects the cartridge, and as you see, there's a shimmer coming from the bullets. You only have 6. Make sure you use them well. And he loads the clip back in and then passes the gun over, handle first.
I reach for it and very safely grab it before putting it into my backpack.
It may feel like you're alone going up there, but we live in a modern age. We are still within touch. Our thoughts will be with you. But don't be afraid to reach out if you need help.
You aren't afraid that they might tap into our stuff or find a way to trace it?
Very well might. But use it sparingly, and only when necessary. Artie at this point says, yeah, I kind of figured you'd have that question, and he reaches into his own pockets and pulls out 2 burner phones.
Forge will take one.
I will also take the other one.
This should be good. Untraceable. And even if they trace it, they're going to find someone in Zimbabwe who's very unhappy that their identity got stolen. But, hey, you know, you do what you got to do, right?
Right. You do what you have to do.
Artie gives Juniper a small wink and a smile as he passes, or he lets go of the cell phones. All right, well, that should about do it. I'm going to keep eyes on this whole operation for you guys, so I'll know where you get a room or wherever you stay, and I'll be looking for any kind of clues, the eye in the sky, but just be careful, okay?
You got it, Artie.
No, you got it.
See, even despite his impenetrable fortress mode he's trying to put on here, he does allow himself to crack a smile and laugh a little bit at that, little chuckle out.
All right, is there anything else we can do for you guys?
No, this honestly covers more of it than I even thought about, so we will head out. I will keep you updated as much as I can, and if we need anything, we'll get in contact.
I rigged the phones that if you take any pictures with the camera, it'll instantly alert me and give me a GPS tag as to where the photo's being taken, so feel free to use that if you need more information about a facility or anything.
Okay. I'll be sure to utilize that when we go in for the kid.
Okay, good. Well, good luck, you two. Get in, get that baby, and get the hell back here. We got work to do.
Sir, yes, sir.
As the two of you depart the cairn, ready to head out on your buddy cop adventure, what's going through your minds during this time? Forged and then Juniper.
Forge is trying his hardest to not let himself feel the fear and the anxiety involving this mission. The guilt of what he caused for his brother is still there, but he knows he can't, like Charles said, he can't be weak in this moment. he can grieve and feel like shit once he has his kid back. As he's just reminding himself the words he spoke, that this is for his kid. That's the main focus here. If anything, nothing else has to happen as long as he can get his kid back. He doesn't have to worry about his brother. He doesn't have to worry about anything else. And that's what he's trying to focus on and remind himself what he's doing this for and why he's continuing to fight, especially fighting for Gaia.
Juniper.
I am going to stop at nothing to get that child's back.
Straight to the point. The two of you head off. Begin your journey. So too does this story come to a close this evening. But not without a few final scenes. Our first scene begins in an abandoned cigar factory. A little pattern spider with a clock face crawls its way across the dirty floor, its little rebar legs tapping, sending an echoing noise out throughout. It eventually reaches the corner where all the dirt and detritus has collected, and one of its little rebar claws springs open, little fingers out of its arm, and it starts sifting through the detritus. It then grasps something with intention, and we can see in the reflection of the clock face a lighter spark to life, and a flame start to emanate from the lighter. It says in Spanish, "They were here. They're coming." Ember says, "See." We then transition to the Fletcher home. But we're not outside the home. We're inside, where two parents sit upon the couch where they often are, but they have the most happy expressions they could possibly have. As Mr. Fletcher has his arm around his wife, Mrs. Fletcher bounces a baby boy upon her lap, up and down. And then finally, you see Eliza, except she's not in a nice part of the cairn. She is, in fact, in one of the deeper, darker, remote places, a swamp. She goes to the base of a tree and reaches into a hole in the tree before tearing out a hunk of the broken and dried wood. She then takes a deep breath in, and as she exhales, a black smoke starts to leak out of her mouth, going into the hole of the tree as she exhales several banes into the tree before stoppering it with the broken off piece of wood. She says, "I know y'all aren't used to being outside of your prison, but I think this will hold you just fine because you're going to have a new warden now." And she taps the bark of the tree before turning and walking away. Several cracks try to form from that place in the tree, but then they almost immediately seal up, ensuring that the prison is locked for now. And this is where our story comes to a close. Thank you so much to these amazing players. Thank you to everybody watching at home. Go follow St. Pete by Night on all of the social media and sign up to be a Ko-fi member so that you can see all the behind the scenes coolness that is happening, like All About That Face and RBT. You could just get so much more content for as low as $5 a month by heading over to that Ko-fi link you see down below and signing up to become a member. We've got an amazing debut coming up this Sunday as Red Tide Rising, our new Vampire the Masquerade Chronicle set in the Tampaverse, begins. A third story within the Tampaverse from the opposite side of things. So go check that out at 7 p.m. on YouTube. And then we'll be back with an episode of Rage Across Tampa on Tuesday and another episode of Hellhounds, you know it, on Friday. So we'll see you then. For these amazing players, I'm Kent. Have a lovely evening. This has been a St. Petersburg by Night production, produced in agreement with the World of Darkness and Dark Pack. Visit our website at stpetbynight.com for more information about all of our productions and how you can become part of our community. Thank you for listening, and until next time, fangs, stakes, and claws out.